inventory and cost of goods sold. There's two methods that are common for estimating inventory and cost of goods sold: gross profit method and retail method. So these are used if we need just an overall ballpark estimate. We're not actually going out there on the shelves and counting the inventory and then calculating out LIFO, FIFO, etc. Like we would have to do at least once a year at the end of the fiscal year for perpetual inventory, and we'd have to basically do at the end of every month for the periodic inventory system. So there are some times when we need an estimate and we are not going to go ahead and do all of that exact counting. So the gross profit method is typically used if we need an estimate if the inventory has been destroyed. Maybe there was a fire, burned it all down, and we need to fill out paperwork with the insurance company to get the money. And the insurance company isn't just going to pay us because we say, oh, well, we think there's a couple $100,000 worth of inventory in there. Okay? We have to have something that's a little more exacting than that. And so this gross profit method is an acceptable way of estimating the inventory that you've lost. There's also the retail method of estimation, and this is commonly used in large retail stores, even if they're perpetual. It gives a big picture of where we stand compared to the books without having to go through a major inventory counting. And if the big picture shows that we're reasonably in the same ballpark of what the books say, then we just go on. But at least if there's been a huge amount of, say, theft going on, and we wait till the end of the fiscal year before we're actually counting stuff and taking a look at our count compared to the books, and then we say, oh my God, look at, we've had a huge amount of stuff stolen, apparently, or something's gone wrong in the books. Here we are at the end of a year, and we're having to try to figure out what happened and when it happened. So if we use this retail method, we can get just a ballpark picture. We compare it to the books. If everything is good, then we just move on. If there looks like there's a serious problem, then we can go forward and actually do an actual count. Okay, so this slide is going into the gross profit method, and knowing the business's normal gross profit is used to estimate the cost of goods sold and the ending inventory. So if this was a new business and they don't have an exact normal gross profit built up, then this becomes kind of a useless method. Most merchandisers keep gross profit in a fairly tight range. Okay, so percentage-wise, and this assumption needs to hold true if this method is going to work. There's other necessary data we must have: the beginning inventory cost, the net purchases for that particular period, and the net sales for that particular period. Now, if, say, we have a fire and it burns down everything, and we don't know that information, that becomes very difficult to do this gross profit method. So what do we want to do? We want to make sure, as you may have learned in Accounting 240, that you should be making a backup every day of the business's accounting information. And then probably at least once a week, that backup information should leave the building. It should go somewhere else to be stored, somewhere where if the whole building burns down, we have access to that backup information. And that would give us this beginning inventory the net purchase and the sales. The only thing that we wouldn't have is whatever happened this week, because that was still on backups that's in the building and got burnt down. So for 1 week's worth of information, we can just estimate that using the previous week. And so we could still come up with a reasonable beginning inventory, a reasonable number for net purchases, and a reasonable number for net sales. And of course, like I say, we would know the normal gross profit percentage. So here's an example that we're going to go through. We have beginning inventory of $80,000. We have net purchases of $70,000. We had net sales of $110,000, and our normal gross profit is 40%. Now there's several steps that we're going to go through. The first step is to compute the cost of goods available. And remember, that is the beginning inventory plus the net purchases. Then we're going to use the cost of goods available to estimate the cost of goods sold. Finally, we'll use the cost of goods available and our estimated cost of goods sold to figure out an estimated ending inventory. Okay, so again, our first step, the cost of goods available, is always the beginning inventory plus whatever net purchases. Net purchases is our gross purchases minus any purchase returns and allowances and purchase discounts. Okay, and so to do cost of goods sold, we know from our formula that you should have memorized back in Accounting 101, and we went over it again and again and again in Accounting 102. And now we've been refreshing ourselves on that, okay, that the cost of goods available minus the ending inventory is the cost of goods sold. We can turn this around. We can say the cost of goods available minus the cost of goods sold is the ending inventory. And that's what we're going to do for the gross profit method. And the gross profit itself is our net sales minus our cost of goods sold. And that's the dollar value of gross profit. But then we're going to take that dollar value of gross profit, divide it by the net sales, and that gives us the gross profit percentage. We might call that also the gross margin percentage, or sometimes they just call it the margin, okay? All right, so with our example, step 1 is to compute the cost of goods available, which is the beginning inventory and the net purchases, which was the $80,000 plus the $70,000. So our cost of goods available then is $150,000. Step 2 is to estimate the cost of goods sold. So we're going to take the net sales, which we were told was $110,000. We're going to subtract out the gross profit to get our estimated cost of goods sold. Okay? So rather than saying net sales minus cost of goods sold is gross profit, we flip those and we're saying net sales minus gross profit is estimated cost of goods sold. So 40% is our normal gross profit percentage. And so we take the sales times the 40%, and that gives us an estimate of how much gross profit total dollars that we had. Okay, and so the $110,000 minus the gross profit gives us an estimate for our cost of goods sold. Then I can take my cost of goods available, $150,000, minus my estimated cost of goods sold of $66,000, and that gives me $84,000, which becomes the estimate of my ending inventory. That would go on the balance sheet. Since I have no other way of coming up with this number, it would be acceptable by GAAP to use that for the balance sheet. It also would be the amount that I would put on my insurance claim that I had lost as far as inventory goes in the fire, $84,000. All right, this one talks about the retail method. This is the method that is used by large retailers. They're already on the perpetual system, so they don't need to count it but once a year. But this way they can more often get this ballpark and check and see where they're at. Okay, and so this method requires the following data. It requires our beginning inventory at our cost and at the retail price, which of course is the price we charge to customers. So the cost is the LIFO-FIFO cost that we calculated. We need that for beginning inventory. And we also need those same items, but multiplied out by their retail prices. We also need net purchases at our cost. What did it cost us to buy those purchases? And what each thing that we purchased during the period, how much would we charge to customers for it? We need to know the sales for the period, which is, of course, already at the retail price. That is what we sold to the customers at the retail price. So we don't have to change that or do anything. And a stable cost to retail ratio. So if the company has been around for a while, typically it will have a very stable cost to retail ratio. If we mark up retail by 200%, then typically that's what we do all the time. So here are steps. Step 1, to compute the cost of goods available at cost and at retail price. Step 2, subtract the net sales at retail from cost of goods available at retail to get an estimate of the ending inventory at retail prices. Then we step 3, divide the cost of goods available at cost by the cost of goods available at retail to get the cost to retail ratio. Step 4, multiply the ending inventory at retail by the cost to retail ratio to get an estimate of the ending inventory at cost. Step 5, subtract the ending inventory at cost from the cost of goods available at cost to get the estimated cost of goods sold at cost. So this is a lot more steps than the gross profit method, but we're going to go through in the next video. We'll go through an example, step by step, how we do this.